Power is something that we all crave. Power is something that we all fear. A very good evening to you, dear Toastmasters and guests. So, today I'm given with the task of talking to you about something that comes hand in hand with power. So, I'd like to start talking about this by using a few examples from my life. Throughout my life, there are so many different roles of leadership that I had to take on, that I had to endure, and that I had to play. So, keeping these roles in mind, I'd like to talk to you about my leadership styles. So, before doing the preparation for this speech, there was a questionnaire that I had to fill, and that questionnaire was supposed to give me a few ideas as to what sort of leader I am, right? But after the results of the questionnaire came, I was so shocked. So the questionnaire said that I was an authoritative leader. And it also said that I was more of a democratic leader. So once I went through these results and once I read these things, the outline of these, what these sort of leaders do, I actually thought about what I have done throughout my life. And a few things that stood up from the rest of my life actually made it a point that these results were actually true. So let's first talk about the democratic leader, which is my main style, as the questionnaire answered. So when I was in school, I took up all sorts of hard positions, right? So back when I was in grade 9 or so, when I was 14 years old, I didn't do anything in school, right? But when I started doing things like Interact, when I started joining the media unit, so on and so forth, I started getting pushed into so many uncomfortable situations where I had to take leadership. But once I went through those things, I realized that leading is something I could bear up with. So I'd like to talk to you about something that happened while I was the president of the Interact Club of my school. While being the president, I was doing a few of my signature projects. So one of these signature projects being Riot. Yes, I like rioting. So Riot is a project that is focused upon the youth. So the ideology behind this was that the youth is standing up against something that is damaging the youth itself, right? So fighting for yourself, something that we all should do. So this year, our theme was smoking, alcohol, and drugs. We were standing up as the young leaders against these three things. So, when organizing this project, because it was the first time Riot was being done, we had to come up with the whole structure. And me, being the president of the club and the chairperson of the project, I had so much of pressure because this was a very important project for me. Now, once I started the planning process of this, I had no ideas whatsoever. But I had an amazing group of friends. So my secretary and my project committee, we all got together and I gave them the chance to plan the project. So we had so many sessions where we talked, we discussed, and we probably argued, and we got the ideas of every single person in the committee, and we gave those ideas a value. So, in this sense, I believe that the questionnaire was true when it comes to saying, I am a democratic leader, right? So, giving the power to the people that are being led and taking their ideas and giving them the power to do it themselves, right? So moving on, there's also this other side of me, the side that loves power, the side that loves being so strict, right? So that being the authoritative leader. When I was a prefect, I had so many situations where I had to take charge, where I could not listen to other people's ideas because the things that I had in mind were too important and the path was too narrow for other people's ideas to give way, right? So when I was head prefect in our school, I came up with a constitution where every single thing was ruled out and every single rule was written down in the most perfect manner that nobody could even budge, right? So authoritative much? Yes. So I believe that the questionnaire was true. And this aspect, authoritative leaders are more into being very strict and more into taking up power for themselves and being very ideological and having all the power to themselves, right? So, democratic leader, yes. Authoritative leader, yes. So, I'd like to end my speech by saying, saying a quote from one of my favorite movies. Has everybody watched Spider Man? Please say yes. Yes. So in Spider Man, do you remember Uncle Ben? That one character that we all loved who died way too early in the movie? Yeah. So Uncle Ben said something that has stuck with me since childhood, since I was a little kid wearing glasses and braces up until now. So that, you know what I'm talking about. With great power comes great responsibility. So, are you making sure that your power is being protected? And are you sure that you are being true to your responsibilities? Do you know what kind of a leader you are? Question yourself. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Including everyone else around you. How many of you lie to yourselves on a daily basis? Trust me, all of us do. Now, since I'm totally into Toastmasters family, I know few Toastmasters who does this on a daily basis. I'm not going to tell their name, but they keep saying, okay, I'm doing all good today. I can keep smiling. And that fake smile every day we put up to show that we are good is the biggest lie that we do on a daily basis. But have you ever realized that you're lying the loudest to yourself? No. There's a point in your life which comes and show you that you're lying all along the way until until that you won't realize it. Now, like that, there was a point in my life. Now that lie was me hating Toastmasters. From 2019 to 2020 June, I kept saying myself, Keshana, you're not fitting the Toastmasters family in KDU. So please stay away from them. But I always realized that I'm attracted towards this family. But why was I lying? Was there a reason? Yes, someone around me was helping me to lie loudest to myself. But then I realized that I can be never separated from Toastmasters, that I'm always glued into this family. No matter what, I will be pushed back. So, my dear Toastmasters, have you realized what's the biggest lie you are telling to yourself? Identify that loudest lie, you will realize your life. Maybe it's eating on a daily basis, or maybe it's putting up a fake smile, or maybe saying that you're not having a crush on another person. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Um, I strongly believe to starting off a lie to impress someone is not the right way to do. It's not a gentleman approach. And since I'm a very gentleman type of person, I don't lie to impress another person. But I have stories to tell you about my friends, especially in the executive committee, who has actually lied to impress other people. So I learned this fact of not lying to impress other people from my very good friend Toastmaster Nisar. He told me from him he's actually called the Love Guru in our executive committee. So he has advised a lot of people not to lie to impress anyone, but it's fine to multitask with different girls at the same time, right? So to judge on that whether it's right to multitask different girls at the same time or to lie to impress is the correct thing. So shifting topics to lying, is it okay to multitask with different people at the same time? According to him, the logic is that it's in talking basis. So since it's in talking basis, there's no issue at all. You're not giving hopes. You're just getting to know the person better, right? And another fact I learned about impressing another person, whether lies is effective or not, is from our Madam President. She has, experienced a lot of past relationships, and a lot of people from different clubs have come asking her out, especially on the induction day as well. So she has told that quote by her, lying to impress another person is not the right approach to take. Right? So given all those facts in mind, on a general point of view, without judgmental or without judging another person, it is not the most effective thing, I believe. But all in all, it depends on the person. Some people actually do lie to impress, but I don't think that is the right approach.
Darshana. We lie loudest when we lie to ourselves. First of all, Toastmaster Karshana, congratulations on embracing that topic very gracefully. From your voice, I didn't feel like you were nervous at all. It sounded like it was a prepared speech. And I have seen you quite a few times doing these table topics, and maybe because of that, you have gained that practice and you sounded like a natural speaker. And I also like how you shared your personal experience during that topic. And you were not, and this is a Toastmasters community, and I was also there when that situation happening where the story you shared about. Still, you were not scared to share it. You were very honest, very confident in what you wanted to tell, and it was very relevant to the topic, and it actually proved your point. So, Toastmaster Karshana, I think that was really matured of you as a speaker. So, congratulations. When it comes to improvement, I think your video was not visible, so I cannot make any comments about your body language or any of that. Also, during the first 20 seconds, I think you were trying to pick up the topic. So you were a little repetitive at the beginning. However, with your story and your ending, you somehow managed it. So I did not see much of a problem there. Maybe you could have shared a little bit more in your personal experience where how not how lying to yourself made a damage to you, and somehow you are true, somehow you became truthful to yourself, and here you are, right? So how somehow you pick up the courage to be true to yourself. Maybe you could have turned the story that way. However, you have done a really great job. You are confident, honest. You are very confident as a speaker. Maybe with more practice and experience, you will definitely become a district level table topic champion, I think. Over to you, Tisuri. Tisuri, you embrace this topic by telling us that, you know what, I don't like to lie and I haven't lied much, so that I don't have any regrets. So you are very open, and you were like from the beginning, you are confident about your choices. And you also nicely told us that why you are like that, because it can harm your relationships likewise. So you seemed very innocent at the beginning. Then you started opening up with us by telling the small, small white lies you have told your parents and friends. So that made you less innocent and more relatable among others, I think. So you nicely had that, I would say, that segregation be in your speech, and you were very chilled and very relaxed when giving the table topic. You were very, I would say, you were very comfortable with the audience. So that was really great.
That's also what we expect from a table topic speaker. Like, don't be nervous. No one's going to blame you. Just share your ideas and thoughts with us. However, Toastmaster Sisuri, what I think you felt a little obligated to not look innocent after what you told. So you started telling the lies you have told to these people. And then you kind of distracted from the topic there. Maybe you could have shared us a situation. The thing is that even though lying is not good, even being truthful is also not that easy, right? So there must have been situations where you had to tell the truth even during a difficult situation. And if you had lied at that time, you would regret, right? Maybe if you could share a situation like that, how you don't regret not lying, maybe a twist of that topic would have would have been more creative rather than telling a lot of lies there and giving us the ending. Maybe with practice, you will figure out these things to like twist the topic and tell a different way. Likewise, however, great attempt, Toastmaster Sisuri. You were a chilled speaker during our table topic session, and all the best for your future table topic.